TV may be entertaining, but behind the scenes, it can be pretty toxic. TV personality Mary Amons was on The Real Housewives of DC, and she's here to talk about how it all works behind the scenes. Hi, Mary. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, girls. Nice to see you. So good to be here.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. We just had a few questions. You were on Real Housewives of DC, and that was in 2010.
A long time ago.
Yes. Was it fun?
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I feel like that I had this sort of interesting, unusual experience with reality television, which is why I'm very excited to be your guest today to talk about reality television and what I experienced. But yeah, I had a blast, actually.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So were you really close friends with the other ladies on the show?
So Linda and I had gone back 15 years as very dear friends. And, our producers had some trouble casting. Finding anyone attached to politics was going to be really challenging. And so what they did is they contacted some of the very connected girls in DC that did PR and events. And they just kind of reached out to the social scene and people that were prominent in DC that were doing things that were interesting. And they found me and they found Linda. And we both kind of pinky promised that we wouldn't let this interfere with our dear, dear, authentic, loving relationship. And it didn't, it actually, we had so much fun doing it. And I feel like we are sort of in a category of anomaly with the experience, actually.
Are you and Linda still friends?
Very close friends, yeah.
Okay, good.
Very, yeah. And we're both Virgos. We're both Virgos, and our birthdays are in September. And that's basically our bond, is that, nothing can come between that.
I love that. So you're both Virgos. That's great. How often did the producers push you to stir the pot on the show? Or was that even a real thing?
It's such an undercurrent going on. It's nothing that our producers or PAs or anyone that was close to us managing us was very deliberate about. It was mostly just asking some questions about what's going on with me and what's my schedule and just kind of poking around. But I never, ever felt like there was any sort of encouragement to say something or do something that wasn't authentic to me. And I also told our producers from the get-go that I knew that they needed drama. They needed something interesting from me, but I was going to just show up as myself, and myself is, I think, pretty interesting. and no, so I don't ever remember anyone sort of poking at me and making me say something or do something that wasn't authentic to what I was doing.
Do you feel like there was an undercurrent with the cast outside of the production that kind of wanted some drama outside of you and your friend, obviously, but with the other clique of girls? Do you think maybe that created some drama?
I think so. Several of us didn't know each other well. Like I had just met Kat, and she was kind of new to the whole city, and she's from the UK, and she's easily like mixed in our group. But I'd say Kat and Stacy were just a little bit tougher to connect with. Stacy more than Kat. Kat just completely sort of melted into us. And I met her days before we started producing.
So that said, I think a lot of people, watch a reality show and don't realize how much time goes into it, how many production schedules there are, how releases need to be signed. Do you mind I don't know if you're allowed to talk about, what was a typical day of filming like?
I can talk about anything now. I can talk about anything, and because I was released. So my contract is null and void. And those contracts were horrific, just for the record.
Okay.
They were trying to lock up my children for 10 years to do anything in film and television, which that's
Really?
all null and void now. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, sorry, the question again. I just got off track.
What
What was a day in the life like?
The day. Oh, so I am a mother of 5, first and foremost. And my schedule, and they knew this, my schedule was my schedule to raise my family and manage my children. And at the time, my children were 10 to 22. And, we had lunches to pack and all that. So it was, my commitment to them was 5 days a week. There's a lot of fives here. 5 days a week, 5 hours a day for 5 months.
Wow.
And I have 5.
And you were specific. That's great. So you were very specific about your time.
How did your kids feel about it, especially the 22-year-old? I mean, did your 22-year-old appear on camera? Was there a conversation prior to joining?
Yes. So Lolly Amons became quite a character in our show. And she was quite cranky at first about everything and felt like, what are all these people doing in our house? And she was a bit cranky. And so I had to pull her aside and I had to say, Lolly, you don't have to do this. But you do have an opportunity because you're in a phase where you're trying to do something for yourself. You have an art interest that you'd like to promote. And I had to do that to Richie Amons too. Like, he got cranky first.
Rich is your husband?
Rich, my husband at the time, yeah. So I just had to sort of sit everyone down and just straight up say, if you don't want to be in this, then please excuse yourself. It's fine. But this is happening and this is what it's going to look like. And you have an opportunity to do something with it for yourself in a positive way.
Did these lead into other opportunities for your family?
So,
or did the show lead into?
So Lolly quickly adjusted her attitude and became quite a prominent figure in our show, which ended up being a big backfire because if you watched it, the Salahis portrayed her as a thief, and none of it was true. It was all that's where production
right.
But they got into some trouble too, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
like international incident kind of trouble. Yeah. But as far as Lolly's concerned, this is where it's probably interesting to what you're talking about or looking for, is that I had no idea that them focusing in on my fingerprint lock on my closet to keep her out of my clothes had anything to do with
anybody with kids does. Not to interrupt, but I mean, I have cameras in my closet because I have kids.
Exactly.
Nobody's a thief. It's like, I don't want you touching my Chanel bag.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I had that closet today, I would have cameras in it too.
Right?
Of course.
But we didn't have those back then.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, Lolly got spun into an incident that occurred, I guess, that was associated with the Salahis, who were the thieves of our show. Basically stole the show, even.
Right.
Like, literally. But what I didn't know is that there was an underlying storyline going on with Lolly getting into my closet and being involved in some sort of incident with the Salahis and their car and some charity event where things were stolen.
So were they making her the villain of the show?
They were trying to spin, I think what the Salahis were doing were trying to come up with something to deflect from their behavior.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly,
so that was pretty damaging.
Honestly, there was very little that you could contrive with our cast. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that could sort of interconnect us that had any drama, really.
Wow. Did something else happen like after the show for you in terms of, your newfound fame? Did it help you move on to a different career?
I would say that because the timing of and also the way we were left in a kind of a negative light with the Salahis crashing the White House.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole thing.
I remember that.
You need to go back and watch it. It's on Peacock streaming.
Yeah, no, I remember the crashing. And didn't she run off with the journey?
Because
I mean, they were a hot mess.
Yeah,
they were a hot mess. And
it's sad because I feel like, do you think you would have gotten renewed if it weren't for them?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Right? Like they just put a bad taste in, everybody's mouth.
Well, it made it hard for me just in my normal life, my neighborhood, my neighbors. There's a lot of pretty influential people that live around me that were shunning me. Kat
that's sad.
Kat was at the time married to the White House photographer, and they were disinvited to the White House Christmas party.
Oh my God.
And that was like real stuff. That wasn't just for cameras. In fact, that was after the show.
Like you had kids in school at the time. Like what was it like to walk on campus? Did you get stink eye at carpool? Like I feel like these moms can be judgy.
Yeah. I had neighbors that scoffed at me, and I mean, even very, very close old friends just were so disappointed that I was associated with such nonsense. Yeah. But also authentically, I knew what I was signing up for, and I knew that I had an opportunity to really make something for myself, and I didn't do it for fame. My grandfather was a very famous man in our entertainment history. In fact, Arthur Godfrey Boulevard is right in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it is.
My grandfather, he was one of the pioneers of radio and television. So I really didn't do it for fame because I knew my mother grew up around that, and it wasn't anything that drew me in. It was more of an opportunity for me to create a platform. I had a charity that I was focusing on at the time and started, and that really was why I did it. But because the Salahis did what they did, it completely overshadowed anybody's real character development and who they were and what they were doing. And they literally had to go and re-edit the entire show to feature that as the finale. And it was basically a build-up to how we were around this and how we dealt with it and what we think of them and these people, basically. So it was. I have mixed emotions about it because I feel like there was big disappointment because I felt like there were things that I really wanted to do. But also, I'm very spiritually driven, and I know that things happen for a reason. And I feel like I was saved maybe from being the nice girl that would have been trashed the next week, the next season.
And that could have happened the next season. You could have been ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, so easily.
And I think DC is tough. I think that it's, a lot of the Real Housewife franchises are in New York or Miami. And I think DC, not politically, but just is conservative. It's conservative as far as like people's attitudes towards anything that is not highbrow. And to them, reality TV isn't highbrow.
It's trashy.
And all of a sudden, you can be educated.
Yes. They think it's trashy.
I worked in reality television as a producer years ago, and I had a acquaintance text me and tell me that I am making my JD and NBA frown because I was associated with reality television. I mean, and I feel like these are the type of people you were probably dealing
Maryland,
with.
so
I was from Maryland. I was living in LA, and I'm sitting in the production office, and I get this text message, and I'm like, "This is what you're concerned about, lady?"
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was my use of duck face who's making it frown. But it's like, I feel like that would be like a whole city in DC.
So what happened after the show? Like what happened with your life after?
So full disclosure, I was living with my husband separated during the show.
Oh,
and I've talked about this publicly, but we had a separation agreement in place, which is also another reason. And I will come out and say that most women that are agreeing to sign up to this have some reason that they want to do it financially, whether it's like make a change in their relationship or marriage, or, blast something off professionally or whatever. But I had that going on, and I actually, at the end of our filming schedule, was not sleeping well because I felt like I wasn't being true and honest. And what I was doing is I was protecting our family's privacy, which I think was important and pretty amazing that I was able to do that. But when I requested a meeting with our producers, because we didn't know if we were going forward or not, I requested a meeting with our producers and just sort of broke it down and said, hey, this is the case. This is what's going on. We're headed for divorce at some point. We're working things out. And first of all, their first response was, we've been in your house for 5 months, and we can see that you're not like really, really cohesive and, having a lot of fun together. So that's kind of translated. And the more I've talked about it publicly, the more the viewers have said, yeah, we can see that you guys aren't very connected. And, but my point is that I went to them saying, okay, if we're going to go forward, I need some scenes right now before we wrap. I need some scenes talking about this with some of my friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't want
you want to control the narrative.
I don't want this.
Right? Exactly.
I don't want to seem like I'm not being true and authentic.
Right.
So they did. They were gracious, and we did film some scenes that were never used because we didn't go forward. But I would think if we had gone forward, they would have brought those in at the beginning as a conversation to sort of lead into here's where we are now. So
for the next season.
Yeah, for sure.
So what ended up happening?
So we got divorced. Sorry. And I had my main focus at the time professionally was my charity work for women's and children's causes in DC. But then as I needed to make money, I wasn't collecting a salary with that charity work. So, and I had a small design business. And so I just basically poured my life into my interior design business. And that's what I do now. And I also have a skincare line, Coco Loco Body Care, that I've started with my best friend, and it's all organic, and we're having so much fun. We're doing a lot of grassroots marketing, doing trunk shows around the country in fun places like Telluride and Aspen. And
yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Was this Linda or different?
No, my friend. No, one of my friends that wasn't on the show.
She'll still hang out with you.
Hang out with me after the show. Yeah. So and my kids are all grown now. I'm going to be a grandmother in March for the first time. Yeah. So, my oldest Lolly is now 39, and my youngest is 27, and my first grandbaby is coming from my youngest.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You don't look like a grandmother.
Not at all.
Thank you. Well,
I have a question.
Yes.
Would you do it today? Would you go on a reality show? Based on your current situation and the current reality climate?
I would have to look at that contract. I would have to see who's behind it. I would have to see who's in it. But I do think it would be fun to do one of those housewives getaway shows or whatever, because I'm friends with a bunch of them from other cities.
Yeah.
And very good friends with Dallas girls. So I would consider it. I'd have to weigh it and see. I feel like our show was really an anomaly. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe they'll bring back.
They should bring back Casey.
No, well, Potomac kind of took that place,
which is so not fair because
but it's totally
not
different.
Same.
It's
complete. Like anybody that's from there knows it's like two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
Like the kids don't even go to the same schools, do they? It's completely different. Yeah.
And completely different cast.
I think it's called Potomac because the Potomac is the river that runs through DC.
Yes.
So it's not Potomac, Maryland, because nobody from that show lives there.
Right.
And I think it's sort of, I don't know. It's not DC, and
No.
I don't think reality shows work in DC. Honestly, I think people are buttoned up and they don't want to show a whole lot. I mean, they keep things pretty tight, especially people that are attached to politics.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think professionally, it's very difficult to get people, because even if the wife isn't doing it, the husband is probably in a position where they can't have their wife on there.
Yeah.
Well, we're really happy that you found happiness and a new career. That's so amazing. And thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you so much for having me.